Welcome to MacroCode. If you are new to this channel, consider subscribing. So on our previous video, we actually did a cascading drop down list. So when you come to employees, we are able to select the country. Then as you can see, the constituency, it is able to get filtered. So this is our employees add employee view model. So for those who are new to this channel, you can watch our previous video. So this is day 10 of our .NETMAUI series. So as you can see, we were able to populate some of the data here. So these are the countries, the locations, sublocations, and the villages. Then we were able to load them. So as you can see, we wanted to have a country. So if you select a country, then the constituencies are actually tied to the countries. So you should be able to cascade down up to the location. So we have done the constituency one. So if you select a country, let's just see, you can see this is it. So if we just select a country, let me just select Tanzania. So you can see we are able to get the country. This is Tanzania selected. Then we clear all the constituencies that are there. Then we add the constituencies based on the selected country. So we are supposed to do this now for the locations and the sublocations. So let me just proceed. So as you can see, under locations, we have everything. So we need to also filter the locations based on the constituencies. So what we need to do, we'll come to the selected constituencies. So we can just copy this. Then we can paste it here. So we'll just we check if the constituency has been selected. So this is where we are checking. Then we need to load so this is now locations. So we clear locations that are there. Then we need to all locations. So we need to load locations based on the constituencies that has been selected. So these are the locations. So this is it. I'll just do that. Then I'll say, I'll take these locations. Then I'll have here, say country. So I'll call these country locations. So if we just add this, then here we'll say constituency. So we now select the constituency, the locations based on the constituency that has been selected. So this is how you do it, guys. So if you're new to this channel, you have done a series of videos and you can actually watch. So now here we have to add to our load locations. So this will give us all the locations based on the constituency that has been selected. So let's just stop my app. Yeah, so let me just stop it. Then we need now to do the same for the villages. So I'll do now. So we'll load the villages. So first we'll do the. So let me just copy this. Sorry. So we'll actually load the sublocations also based on the locations. So I'll say here load sublocations. So we need to load the sublocations based on the selected location. So sublocation. Then I'll just paste this here. Then here we need to filter. Then we'll say location ID. So this is location ID should be the selected selected location. Then we filter by the ID. So here we need to get country sublocations. Sorry, so we'll say country sublocations. Then we add them here. Then we load the sublocations to our observable range collection. So after we have done that, we also need to load the villages based on the selected sublocation. So this is it. So we check the sublocation, then we load the villages. We load the villages. So we actually clear the villages that are there. Then here we say this is a village. Then we load the village. Then we say all villages. Then we can say we filter the villages here, then we'll say all country villages, then we actually tie the sublocation ID to the selected sublocation that has been selected by the user. Then we now load the villages, then we can have the villages here. So this is how we have done the cascading drop down, guys. So as you can see, this is our model. So we need to comment so we are loading this data. So I'll show you how we will be using this data, but first let's comment. Now we need to have the countries one. So we can comment the rest because it will be loaded based on the countries that has been selected. So we only have load the countries, then the rest will be selected based on the countries that we have selected. So after that, let's just launch the app. Then we should be able to see how the data will look like. So if you're new to this channel, you'll do us a favor if you just subscribe. So we actually noticed some of you guys are most of you guys are watching our videos and you are not subscribing. So subscribe so that we reach more people and we can be able to share this content. So our app is loading. So let's see how it will look like. So let's see. So we should be able to now, if we come to add new employee, so you can see if I select a country here, so we have a list of countries. So if I select Kenya, I should be able to only see constituencies based on the country. So if I select Nairobi, I should be able to see the location based on the constituency. If I select that, I should be able to see the sub-locations also based on that. Then I should be able to see finally the village. So that is the village, and I can now proceed with that. So as you remember, guys, this is our form. And based on this form, we only need to save some of the data. So we only need to save the village ID. So on our table, on our database, if you come to our employee database, this is how our database looks like. We have the village ID. So we need to actually save the village ID after we have done that cascading list. So we don't save all these information, the country, constituency, location. So you only save the last one because from the village, you can be able to cascade upwards up to the country. So what we need to do now on our add button. So this is our add button. You can see this is the add employee button. So we need to say, so we actually need to check if the user has selected the country. So what we need to check, we can actually check if the user has selected the village. So we'll say if selected, so we need to selected village is not equal to null. So if that is not equal to null, we need to now save the employee data. So we'll say mdata.villageid is equals to the selected value, that is the selected village.id that we have. But in case this is not the case, we can actually have an alert. So I'll just copy one of these alert and we can have it here. Then you can say select village. Then you can do away with that. So I'll just decorate this and say, please select the village. So that is it, guys. So our employee data now will be having the village ID. So when we save the data, we will be having the village ID. So this is how it is, guys. Our button looks like this. So if we just now load our app, so we can launch our apps and we can have a breakpoint here so that you can be able to see how the data look like. So let's see how the data looks like. So app is launching. For the meantime, for those who haven't subscribed, you can subscribe. So if we just now come and create a new employee, we can select the country, then you can select the constituency, then you can select the sublocation, then and the village. So this is the village. Then I'll say the name is Jacob Karanja Opio Then I need to add the last one, email address for our employee. Then you can see this is the date of birth. So I can just select it and save. So if I hit save, you can see we have our village here. So we should actually get the village selected. You can see the village and we have the sublocation ID and the village ID. So our data will now come inside there. So you can see we have now the village ID already added. And if we proceed, then our employee record will be saved. So as you can see, if you just click that, then the form sticks there. But you want, when you save, it actually takes you back to this form. So what we need to do, we have done something on add country page. So that this is what we need. So we need to take the list back to the form, back to the list. So you just do that to navigate. So this is what you need to do. So navigate back to the list. So this will take us back to the list. So if we try again, another thing that we need to check on our employees list. Let's see if we have, you can see this is how our employee list looks like, but we need to, let me modify something here. So I'll just say this is equals to that. So this should be equal to that. Then we have done something on appearing and on disappearing on our constituencies list. So we need this one. So I'll just copy this. So we have done some of these things on our previous videos. So for those who are new, you can actually watch. So we can replace this here. So you can see we want, whenever we just save our employee, we don't have to close the page, but we need to auto refresh and see the list of the data that we have just added. So I'll just do that. Then I'll say view model. Then we need to load. So I'll say load employees. So let's see under employees. So it'll just come under view model employees list. We see how it looks like. So I mean should be the employees list. Yes. So on our employees list, this is our form. So we should actually not use this. So we can do away with this. Let me just modify here. So we can do away with that. Then this one we can reference local based view model. So we actually customize this view model, guys. So if you want to see, this is how it looks. So this is how the model looks like. So we are inheriting some of the things from there. Then I want us to get, so I'll just say load employees. So this will load all the employees that are there. So I'll just do away with, you can leave that. Then I can say app.get app.database.get rows. So this will give us all the data. So then here we'll say employee. Then we need to pass the table name. So I'll just pass the employee here. Then I'll say to list. So this will give us the list of all the employees. And here we don't want that. So I'll just do away with this. So let's see what is the issue. Can say await. Let's see our employee table row, it's async. No. So that is fine. So we should come on our employees list and we have that. So it should not be async. That should be fine. And whenever that happens, so we can actually load now our employee on our constructor here. So we'll do that. And that should give us the list of employees. And we can actually now load it as well on our employees list. So if you come to employees list, sorry. So if we come to employees list, we need to load it. So we need to load it here. So we'll say load employees. Then we can actually clear also the employees list before we load it. So view model, then we can say employees. So that is it. So I think that should be fine, guys. So if we just launch our app now, we should be able to see the employees data. So let's launch. Let me just build our app first. See if everything works well. So there is an issue. Let's see the error. Where is the error? I think there is an error here. No. Yeah, there is an error and the employee service. Yes. So this is it. So display. So we can actually do away with this one. Then this is a navigation. That's fine. So if we launch our app, let's see if everything works well. So we should be able to see an employee that we have just added without closing the page and even closing the app. So if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing. Comment down below in case you have any suggestion on .NET MAUI, and we'll be doing a series. So we are on the 10 of .NET MAUI series. So we actually aim by the end of this series, we should be able to have done a complete mobile app of demonstrating most of the functionalities on .NET MAUI. So we hope that you enjoy this video. If you enjoy the video, please like the video and you subscribe. So our app is launching. So let's see how it looks like. So let's see how our app looks like. So there we are. Something is not adding up. So we just come to list. So let me see on our get employees here if our data is loading. So let's go back to the employees list. There we are. So if we just go there, see we only have one. Yeah, the data is not loading. So let's see how our table looks like. So this is our table. Let's see on our application DB context. So this is the employee. So we should be able to get that. So we say load employee, then get this is the employee. So let's see. We can just borrow what you have done here. Let's just borrow this. Then we need actually seeing what is the issue. So if we come to our employees list, this should be observable range collection, observable range collection. So that is it. So I think if we replace this, we should be able to get everything there. So let's also try again. So we load that. Hope we have thing that is fine. So our list. So let's see. Our app is launching. Let's see how it will look like. So there we are. So if we proceed, we should be able to get the list of employees. So it is not there. So yeah, this is the issue. So let's do that. Let me also try to load. Let's stop the app again. Let's launch it. So there we are again. So this is how observer collection should look like. Then you are loading the data. Let's see what is the values there. So it's actually not giving us the data. If we do that, so we can proceed. So let's do something. So let's save an employee we see. So let's save say Uganda. That is the location. That is this is the village. So we just say Jacob Kimani Karanja test@gmail.com. Then we can actually save it. So this should be fine. So if we just do that, the employee has been saved successfully and it has taken us to the list. So you can see we now have two lists of data, and if we continue, I've been able to see what is the issue. So you can see it is not tying our first name and middle name. So the issue could be on our add employees. So this is where the issue is. So if we just do this, let's see if we are instantiating our employees. So that is it. So let's add a new employee we see. Let's add a new employee. Test. We can just use James test@gmail.com. Then if we save it, let's see here. So if we proceed that way, we should be able to see the data that is being saved. You can see that is where the issue is. So it is actually saving the village ID, but the last name, middle name are not being saved. So if we come here, are we having the data? No, we are not having the data. So we need to check our form. So this is the new employee. So you should actually take these employee details, come to our add employee. So we should be able to ensure that this is the data that is being saved. You can see. So that is it. If we add, did we change the labels? Let's see. If we come to our employee, we have these, that is fine. So let's see on our add new employee, why are we having that? So employees details should be able to do, actually you can get rid of this, then you should be able to do that. Yeah. So let's try again. So if we just do away with that, then save, then relaunch our app. So we are trying to debug, guys. So our data is going without the values. So let's try again. So it's loading. So let's do that. So we add a new employee. So if we just do that, we do that, we do that, we do that, then we say James Karanja of Pure. Then we say test@gmail.com. Then we now save our data. So if we click save, you should be able to see the details here. No. What is happening? I think there is something wrong we are doing here. Let me just see. There's something we are defining it wrong. Yeah, I think also this is the issue, and this one. So if we come to add new employee, I think we had left out something. Yeah, so let's define it. Sorry. So this should be get set. Then this should be public. I think that is where the issue has been. Then on our employees list, to be able to get something like this. So I think we had done that before. Let me just replace it. So this is how it should look. Then on our add new employee, this is how it should look, and this is public. So if we just launch again, I think that should be the issue. That should be public. Huh? So you can see it has actually loaded. So let's save with a new employee. So we'll select Kenya, then Nairobi, then Koros, then say James Karanja Mwangi. Say test at gmail.com. So if we do that, if we save, we should be able to see the data now here. You can see we have the James Mwangi Karanja, but the email address is not coming, so it should be email address. I'm sure the name could be a mismatch, could be a mismatch of name. Yeah, you can see this is the issue. So this one should be email address. So ensure that you actually provide the correct naming on there so that you can be able to get the value of the data. So if we do that, if we just come here, so let's see if our record will be saved. So if we continue, our data will be, you can see James and the village ID is there. So if we just proceed, employee has been saved and it should take us back to the list. So you can see we have now the data. So that is how you should be able to map it to your cascading drop-down list. So you have been able now to save the data to our app. So that is it for today, guys. If you are new to this channel, consider subscribing and watching our previous videos.